My name is Gianni Russo, a.k.a. Carlo, the infamous son-in-law from The Godfather. I'm now known as the Hollywood Godfather, and this is my story.
Before all of the wins in my portfolio, I was a little boy diagnosed with polio. Experimenting with cures, I tried every one. Felt everything in my right, but my left was numb. Walking with a limp, like will I ever run? Once again, or is this it? Am I forever done? Living in the hospital was never fun. Some people were cool, but not everyone.
Welcome, everybody. It's time for another Hollywood Godfather podcast. And tonight's show is so special to me because it's with an old, not want to say old, we're friends for many years. And when I met him, he was a champion of the world. We're talking about Ray Boom Boom Mancini. My man, how you doing, Ray?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. Yourself? You know, it's funny when you say old. The funny thing is, I just turned 63, right? And the reason I'm saying is, when you were 20, 63 was like, oh man, is that old, right? That's an old.
I know.
Then you turn 63, you go, 80's right around the corner. It's right there. It's just.
Well, you can imagine me. I'm 82.
True, I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, and you look like a baby for crying out loud.
No, I have a great life, man. Fortunately.
Yeah.
I'm so
My mother, my mother just turned 88 and she's amazing.
Yeah.
She's on the go. She's out every day. She's running around town and it's great. It's a testament to staying as healthy as possible. That's for sure.
Well, that's for sure. You know, that they talk about food, diet is most important, exercise and diet, right? And when I travel, I talk to a lot of health, dietitians and nutritionists and health, doctors, heart doctors. I mean, they say, look, when you travel, it's hard to work out. We know that. But if you could only pick one, diet is more important. Because you're going to lose calories walking during the day or whatever. Diet's more important. So I always try to keep that. I do work out when I'm on the road. I make time for that. But diet is more important. So if you feel,
I found that out long ago. Actually, when I was your age in the 60s, I cut out sugar and salt.
Now, I don't eat salt because food has enough natural salt. But sugar, I don't. I do brown sugar, if that, very little. But now I do honey, natural organic honey, even in my coffee, so I do the organic. My bride, she gets organic everything. So it's easy then, But
so let me ask you a question. How did you give up the super asada and the prosciutto?
The funny thing is, that was never a thing for me. Thai meat, never Thai meat. Salami, gabagool. I was never a big fan of those. So getting rid of them, I didn't eat them much. My father loved them. We had a house, but I don't. Even my bride, she gets them once in a while, but I don't. Once in a while I'll try it, but no.
When you were in State Street, we had feasts like that.
Oh yeah, well,
that's one thing.
Well, you do a charcuterie plate, right? But you have but with the cheese, I'm big. I love cheeses. I'm a big cheese guy. Olives, that type of stuff. Yeah, I can make a meal out of that.
Yeah, but the cured meats will kill you.
Yeah.
I found that out. I'm back to 160. My resting heart's 55.
Beautiful, yeah.
Probably in the best shape I've ever been.
I know what the funny thing is, Johnny? They actually found a heart. but that's my
so apropos. This is our producer. Watch. Hey, Mike. We're on. I'm talking to Boom Boom. Everything's working out great.
Yeah.
So apropos, the theme from The Godfather played, and you came on. I'm talking to Mike Austin, our top guy in the show. Hey, buddy, I'll call you after the end of the show. Thank you. Bye. Leave that in. Don't edit it out.
So I'm listening to you guys talk and I'm thinking I'm going to die young. Well, I've passed young, but I eat terrible. I'm always on the move and I'm very lucky for the junk I eat that I'm as healthy as I am. But it inspires me to try and do better. But how do you kick that sugar? I don't know.
Well, look, I'm a big sweet eater. I don't pass up dessert. But as you get older, I'm trying to attest to this, portion size, right? So before I used to keep the whole thing. Now me and my bride, we get it, cut it in half, then we cut it in half again. We're like a mom and pop kettle. we get a little piece of, dessert, we cut it up, and, we share a coffee. I mean, it's like ridiculous, but portion size. And I've learned that. And because before I used to eat like I was going to the lecture chair. Now, it's portions.
We all do. I mean, it's a thing that I think it's something we do when we're young, and
Yeah.
then we start to treasure. Like I treasure my life and my mobility and everything
You
else.
just said it. John, you
That's
just
it.
said mobility, because so many foods attack not only the nervous system, the joints, right? The
Oh,
knee.
yeah.
So you try to get up, your hips. People don't realize it. Certain foods attack the joints and a lot of inflammation,
Yep.
especially in the joint as you get older. So I'm trying to be conscientious of that. And like I said, my bride, she cooks wonderful, and she's always conscientious of that also. So it's wonderful.
So your bride,
I want to call on you about something,
Yes.
because it's very rare that we have a guest who was constantly, not when you were in town, you were at State Street. Steve Sharippa, you remember, he was the doorman.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's a constant guest, and we're so proud of him. Where
Yeah.
it's the Sopranos and Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
And he had to drive. He reminds me so much of me. And so, would you mind telling your audience? I think we first met at State Street.
Yeah, we did. When I remember John was 82. That's when I won the title, and I came out there, and they told me about it. Or it was 83.
Tell them about your title. Come on, give us your accolades.
Well, no, but
For the young audience who don't know.
no. Hey, you know what? Yeah, it's funny because it's funny. People nowadays, this the so-called boxing crowd, so they don't know they go as far back as Mike Tyson, and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't, forget me. Ray Leonard, oh yeah, I've heard of him.
right?
Roberto Duran, one of the greatest. So, matter of fact, I walked into a friend of mine's son is a teacher at my former high school. So he asked me at the end of the year, if I'd come and speak to his class. I said, sure. So I came in, and he goes, oh, okay, students, quiet. He says, got a special list here. Anybody recognize this guy? Now, first of all, this is a Catholic high school, right? So they get their heads down like this. I'm not getting their heads. So I'm thinking to myself, tell the kids to put their phone away. And he ain't saying nothing. But I'm thinking, okay, so right away, you lose the crowd right there, right? They get their heads down doing this. He goes, and they look up, but then they go, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good crowd here. So all of a sudden they're looking at me like, well, who's this? All of a sudden, some kid in the back waves his hand. He goes, yeah. Isn't he that boxer guy? I go, yeah, that's me. I'm the boxer guy. That's who I'm known now as the boxer guy. These kids don't, and I don't say they should expect them to know me. I never expect, honest to God, I don't.
Right.
But I get a kick out of it, because even boxers, former fighters, fighters that are present contemporaries, I meet them, and they go, hey, do you know what this is? And they look at you, and they tell them, oh, Boom Boom Mancini. Oh yeah, I've heard of them. I laugh. All I know is when I was fighting Johnny, I'm an historian. I'm a boxing historian. I can tell you from the 20s to 30s, because my father used to tell me about the fighters, guys he became friends with, from Henry Armstrong, Tony Canzoneri, all these guys, and I know their stories. Nowadays, you talk to these guys. I met Canelo back when he was champion, and the guy introduced me to him. He said, "You know what this is?" And he said, no, I go, boom, oh yeah, I heard the name. I know that. And I'm thinking to myself, here's a guy who's a world champion, but they have no history. They don't know the history of the game.
No.
It's just
The only I had the privilege because of Frank Costello.
Yeah.
He went to the Garden anytime there was a fight.
Sure.
The best seats, and he dragged me along, and I loved it.
Oh, well,
I met everybody. I met Marciano. I know them all.
Well, you know as well as I do, Johnny. Wise guys are big fight fans. Always. New York, everything. I'll tell you a story. When my father first went to New York, 1937, he turned pro. I'm sorry. He turned pro in 1937, and he was fighting around the Ohio area, but he couldn't get no fights. He was starving. So there was this fight at the Idor Park Ballroom, which is one of the places they fought at one time here. And Billy Seuss was the main event. My father was a semifinal. Billy Seuss was trained by Ray Arcel. So my father's trainer said, look, Ray, he says, I want to introduce you to my fighter, could you take him on? Can you do something with the kid? Because I can't do nothing when I'm around here. So I said to my father, I'll tell you what. He said, young man, you get yourself to New York. Here's that. You come to Stillman's gym. I'll give you you look me up and I'll train you. My father, that was the Friday. My father left on a Monday. He borrowed some money, got in the bus and left, right? So while he's there, so now his first fight is at the Broadway Arena in Brooklyn, New York, corner of Broadway and Halsey. You
Right.
probably know that, right? Broadway was a big joint, big fight club. So now my father became a fan favorite there. Okay. And you know, matter of fact, when my father first, the guy said, from Brownsville, Brooklyn. My father turned and said, where the hell's Brownville? I don't know Brownville. But they wanted them to get the Jewish crowd.
Right.
Right. So now my father became a fan favorite because of his style and everything. So now there was a guy sitting in the front row every fight. His manager said to me, hey, go over and acknowledge him. Wave to him. My father, he tell him every fight. Finally, my father said, hey, who the hell is this guy? Louis Lemke.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a big. And so Louis, my father said, I don't know who the guy was, but he used to come back, send people to, talk to me, come back to the dressing room, talk to me, and he said, Raymond, I didn't know who the hell he was. And then, of course, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wild.
boxing to me, I still love this. This UFC stuff is total. I mean, that's.
It's
I don't know
different.
how these guys do it. I mean, but
It's different. They're great athletes. They're terrific athletes.
three 5-minute rounds. I mean, they beat themselves to death.
Oh, those are bloody messes,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Those
for
are
sure.
terrible.
I got to work with some of the guys, help them with their hands, and they're terrific athletes. But here's what I tell people: boxing has always been known as, even though it's a violent sport, we know that it's always been known as the noble art, because there is an art form to it. You know what I mean? But MMA is not considered that. But I tell people these guys are terrific athletes. They're hell, I admire what they do, man. I really do. It's just different. It's just much different.
So
It's not
different.
everyone's taste, not everyone's flavor. That's for sure.
Right.
How many professional fights did you have?
John, I didn't have a lot, to be honest with you. I had 34 professional fights. My record was 30-4. But I was fortunate. I only fought 5.5 years. I only fought 5.5 years as a pro, but 34 fights in 5.5 years. Not a lot of fights, not a lot of years, but 34 fights in 5 years is a lot. I was active. The one thing I'm most proud of, I was a champion from May of '82 to June of '84. So in 24 months, I had 7 title defenses. That's one every 3 months. That's one every 3 months. So that's one thing I'm very proud of. I was active. And plus, I knew my style of fighting was not made for a long career. I sacrificed longevity to get in and make my score and get out. And I was able to do that. And I always tell people, the one thing I'm most proud of, I can still spell fight. I can still spell it. And I say that half-jokingly because so many guys can't.
Yeah. Well, I was watching something today and it said you averaged 100 punches per round.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that had to be exhausting. 100 per round.
Well, but see, you train for that. You prepare yourself for that way. You fight like you train. People don't say the gym is where you win fights and lose fights. It's not that. It's
Not
the
that.
gym. So I train that way. My style of fighting, bang that bag. Hey, the bag ain't punching back.
Right.
So throw as many punches as you can.
Easy.
Yeah. But here's what people say: when you hit the bag, you got to visualize like a man's throwing punches. So you move your head, you bob and weave and throw punches, moving. So you visualize like punches were coming back at you.
Right.
So it's just preparation, how you train and style of fighting. It's just So that was it. But like I said, that style is not made for a long career. But
No.
I think it's what it serves its purpose. It's what it's supposed to be. It's fan friendly, and people don't understand. Fighters don't understand. You have an obligation to the fans to give them a type of fight, right?
Right.
I mean, look, I understand a lot of guys are boxers, but like a Ray Leonard, he's cute, he'll pick it up when he has to. He'll turn it on when he has to. So there's other guys, they sting to join up. There's other guys that they're cured for insomnia, and they don't care.
Right.
A lot of these foreign fighters come, especially like from Cuba and stuff, and from Eastern Europe. Their styles are not made for the pro game. It's a different, an amateur game is one thing. The pro game is the hurting game. You gotta engage, and a lot of them don't.
Well, I watched the fight yesterday, and Prince Muhammad, who I know personally, he always loved the UFC fighters. Yesterday, they had the world champions in Dubai. He
Dubai,
brought
right.
everybody over. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. They've been doing that.
3 o'clock in the afternoon, he paid for everything. They're all
Bob,
sitting there with the hat, the turbans on. I loved it.
Johnny, the Saudi sheikhs. Now, I was just in London 3 weeks ago. I've been working with a promoter from Cannock, Birmingham, suburb of Birmingham. So his company's Excelsior Promotions. So I've been working with him for the last 3 years. He brings me over, you work the room, shake hands, kiss babies, take pictures, three or four times a year, right? But now, I was over a month ago, and he wanted it because we were having a meeting with a Saudi sheikh. So we have this meeting, but the guy can't give us enough time, give us time. There's people after him. We meet him, but they say, well, we're going to make time for another time to meet. We'll meet at another time. So the guy who set it up comes up to my guy and says, look, he may not be, here's the guy, might be your guy. We met a guy from Kazakhstan, which is modern day Mongolia, right?
Right.
Genghis Khan. So we meet this guy. He wants my guy to bring his fights there. He wants us to bring the fights there. So we're going there October 25th in Kazakhstan, and it formed this partnership. And if it works out, they're going to do 2 more shows in April and stuff. But what I'm trying to make is they want to compete with this Saudi sheikh. Now, they may not have the type of money. Johnny, the Saudi sheikhs were over there. They were doing a talk. They talk about 15, 20 billion.
Oh, I know.
Like we're talking about $15, $20. It's
I know.
unbelievable. You can't comprehend. They're talking about money like it's unbelievable. So this guy from Kazakhstan, he may not be able to compete with the billions, but he's high. He's very, very, very well.
Oh, it's to them, it's a sign of wealth.
Yeah.
What they could bring to their country. And I'm going, as Jeannie could tell you, I leave on the 20th of July. I'm going to Baku, Azerbaijan. The 2 guys are bringing me over. Their net worth is $11 billion. They don't care.
One thing when I was over there in London, the Saudi sheikh's talking, and like I said, they're throwing on these numbers like they're throwing off these numbers like they're chiclets. They bow, hey man, throw out 15, 20 billion.
Yeah.
I told my guy Scott, I say, Scott, you gotta. They're talking about investing, but they're talking about owning that town. I mean, I said, Scott, they're going to take over if you don't watch it. He goes, oh, don't think we don't know it, mate. Don't think we don't know it. Because they're owning, the Saudis are buying up everything in London. And John, London's a great city. Become one of my favorite cities. Great city. But they're buying up everything over there. So,
well, this show airs in London.
Beautiful.
I'm in 73 countries with this.
Oh man, yeah, man. It's just London got such a great history, and it's.
Oh, I used to go there. In fact, Sinatra and I, on the way to the Red Cross Ball each year, we would stop and go see George Raft. He was a host over there.
George Raft used to live in London?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love George Raft.
He was a host in a casino over there.
Oh, I loved his movies, man. And,
my God.
And a real guy. For you know better than me. He was a real guy. Yeah. Here's the funny thing. People don't know. George Raft, I love the old time, George Raft, Eddie G. Robinson. John Garfield's my favorite actor of all time. I mean, but here's what people say.
Like you said, that's why my career is still going so well, because that genre is never going away.
No, you're right.
They love gangster movies. And I made a couple of them, but I made the best one, The Godfather.
Cowboy movies, gangster movies like the modern day cowboys. They're always going to go. Always going to go.
Yeah.
Now you talk about George Raft. Gene, I hope you don't mind. I go off on tangents. You're going to find this
out. No.
I'm going to go out on tangents. But John, here's what people don't know. Maltese Falcon. What was that? Casablanca.
Oh my God.
George Raft had both of the starring roles. George Raft had the starring role for Casablanca and what I just said.
Maltese Falcon.
Maltese Falcon.
The Maltese Falcon.
Maltese Falcon. He for whatever reason he couldn't do it, and it went to Bogey. But he had both roles, and he could, for whatever reason, he couldn't do it and went to Bogey. I tell people, but you hear stories like that all the time. You know the stories like that all the time. That happens, but you can't imagine another person in that role now, right? Bogey was it, But George Raft, George Raft it would have been terrific too. It'd have been different, but it'd been terrific.
That's crazy. All right, we're going to take a quick break real quick, and then we're going to get back to how you two met.
In
You're
State
as
Street.
hyper as I am, Ray. I love it.
We'll be right back, and you know where we live, so don't go nowhere.
Mr. Russo is probably the most interesting man I've ever sat with in my life.
Unbelievable. Still unbelievable. I consider Gianni like Forrest Gump, right? The most interesting man on the planet.
He has achieved so much in his life, and he has proven that time reveals the victorious.
We're basically bringing Gianni Russo's life to rap music, if that makes any sense. You know, I'm painting a picture of this guy's life through rap music the best way that I know how.
We're trying to encapsulate his life in segments, chapters if you want to call them that. And Gianni's story's crazy, but then Joel as an artist being able to articulate it, that's also crazy. Everything that you're hearing, this isn't a rapper that's making up something that he wished would have happened. These are things that have happened, that are documented, that you can check on, that you can Google. For you to hear about his life this way and to understand that these are facts and not fiction, you listen to it, you're gonna say no one man could have lived this life. You have to say that. I've said that. I still say that.
For me, it's very special because it's something that was never done before.
I would just tell people that haven't heard it or about to hear it, if you could watch a movie about the world's most interesting person, would you watch it? This is that movie. You'd want to watch that.
Okay, we're back with our special guest, Ray Mancini, known in the fighting world as Boom Boom Mancini. And what's even better than that, they were accolades that he shared from his father's career, Boom Boom Senior. Ray, thank you so much for being on, man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
So let me ask you, how'd you get the nickname Boom Boom? I've seen some of your fights, so I figured it was Boom Boom Lights Out, but let's hear from you.
Well, actually, I was given that. My father was given that nickname in 1939, as I talked earlier, when he went to his first fight at the Broadway Arena in Brooklyn, New York. He first fight there. The promoter, this guy named Max Joss, turns to a writer and says, "Look at this guy. Keeps coming, throwing punches all the time. Boom, 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 all the time." Next day, Lenny Boom Boom Mancini. That's true.
Oh, nice.
True story. So now, start with his whole career. So I have an older sister, and I had an older brother who was baby Boom Boom, Boom, as I was. My mom was Mrs. Boom, Mrs. Boom. I was baby Boom, Boom Junior, little Boom Boom. I was older. But for whatever reason, it stuck with me. Now my brothers, it stuck with me long before I was a fighter. When I was going in grade school and high school. So, I've told Johnny, I've told you this before. I believe in fate as far as life and love. I truly do, and I believe it was my fate to be a fighter. I mean, that's all I ever wanted to be. There was nothing else I ever wanted to be. And the fact that I had the style is very reminiscent of my father, but it was also reminiscent of my city. When I turned pro, and then Johnny knows the story, but we were at 28% unemployment. The steel mills shut down in September of 1977, September 19th, known as Black Monday. One day over 5,000 men, in 1 week 10,000 men, 1 month 25,000 men, in 6 months over 50,000 men lost their jobs. Lost their job. My town was decimated. Now we've never fully recovered. We're on the climb again, but we've never fully. But we're one of them towns that we don't get too high, we don't get too low. We kind of go steady, but that kicked our ass. We've never fully recovered. So my style was reminiscent of the city. So at that time, when I turned pro, the town was looking for something to hold on to. I happened to be, because of my style was, like I said, reminiscent of the city. We take our shots. We'll take some people. We keep moving forward. We're going to give more than we take. That type of. And so the town got behind me, and so I was very, very fortunate to come at that time. And so, but that's how the nickname got. My father was given that nickname because of his style, and I was given that nickname as a baby. But again, my style of fighting was also reminiscent of that, and it came at the right time. And it's just, nicknames are, nicknames are a hell of a thing. People remember nicknames. But half the people don't know my first name. And that's fact. They don't.
Right.
So I used to get fan mail. This is a true story. I used to get fan mail. I got a letter one time. It said "Boom Boom USA." Period. That's it. No rip. And I got it. And I got it.
Wow. That's
That's
fabulous.
awesome.
Crazy.
Well, that's
Well,
great.
what was your first title?
I won first I won the Ohio State Championship, Ohio State boxing title in my 15th fight here. And then I won the North American boxing championship in my 19th fight. And then I fought Aguayo for the title fight in my 20th fight, but I lost. I got beat for the first title try. And that's what I tell people, people don't understand. You get knocked down. I was hurt. I felt I let my city down, let my family down. But you grieve it for a while. But then you get back on the horse and you come at it. And I fought two more. That fight was October 3rd of 1981. I had two more fights before the end of the year. I had two more fights before the end of the year. And then I had a fight in January. And then that got me a rematch. But Alexa Aguayo had already moved up, so his title was vacated. So I fought for Arturo Frias for the lightweight championship. And I beat Arturo Frias. I stopped him in the first round. And it just was fortunate. He caught me, hurt me the first 10, 15, 20 seconds. And that just, I always tell one thing you learn as a fighter, when you're hurt, you do one of two things. You cover up or you fire back.
Right.
Or you either move forward or you move them back. I always move forward and I choose to fire back. And I happened to fire back and then catch him. And so in the first round, he hurts me, almost drops me, knocks me against the ropes. For 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 45 seconds, we're going toe to toe. And then I want to drop him and he gets up and I want to jumping on him and stopping him with 1 second left in the round.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was one of the greatest days of my life. I tell people always say, what was the feeling when you won the title? And I'm sure you understand it in many ways. I said, I can't explain it. It's euphoric. It's a euphoric feeling. It's like out of body experience. You know what I mean? Because I've already achieved my lifelong dream, my childhood dream. I always tell people the only comparison was seeing each one of my children born. Other than that, there's nothing to compare to.
Yeah.
How many
It's
kids do
it's
you have?
interesting because everybody that knows you and knew you, you were always a gentleman, always open to everybody. You weren't, especially in State Street, everybody loved when you came in. And you were the champ at the time.
That means the world to me because, people remember the content of your character than they do more than anything, right? The type of person you were. Because my father had a third grade education, but he was my greatest life teacher. And he used to tell me all the time, when I was a little boy, he said, Raymond, always remember, one day the headline, next day the breadline. Same people calling you check on the way in, they're calling you bum on the way out. Don't ever take this serious, meaning the fame.
Right.
And I had fun with it. He said, have fun with it, but don't take it serious. And I didn't. I took my business serious, but I didn't take the fame. And he always say, always remember, it's a small fall from the limo to the curb. And these are things, but you remember. And
yeah, the old timers are great philosophy.
Oh yeah,
I love those.
My father, third grade education, but he had a master's in life. You know what I mean? Life education. So that was my greatest teacher. So what I think, I always tell people, how could you not be humble, man? You got to appreciate the things you have. I wasn't the most natural fighter. Look, I got beat. Life kicks your ass. You just got to learn how to, get
Bob
up.
and weave.
All this, yeah. You got to learn all the cliches. Get up, learn how to take it on the chin. Get up, keep moving for all this stuff, right? But it's true. And so you got. I always tell people, I tell my children, and I tell people, it ain't about the destination. We know what that's going to be, God willing. God willing, we know what that's going to be. It's all about the journey, man. You got to enjoy the ride. And hopefully along the way, you meet some wonderful people and you make them happy and you make people happy, right? But you got to enjoy the ride. So I try to do that. And along that, you want to bring people joy and happiness. They meet you. I mean, like John, you know about it because you've been very gracious to a lot of people all the time. And I see that. It ain't hard to be a good guy. It ain't hard. You got to work hard to be a jerk off.
Better to be a jerk off. I mean, I see you and I have been around so many morons.
As you said it, I see how many these so-called celebrities, especially actors, are the worst.
Oh my God!
And they're like jerks. They're also they play tough guys and they think they're tough guys. And I had to tell a few of them. I said, "Hey, yo, Let me tell you something. You play a tough guy, but I'm gonna tell you what. You keep that stuff up. There ain't no cut, take two here. You're gonna find out, and they stop. They realize, I'm gonna straighten you out real quick. And that's the thing. I see actors and how they act. I'm thinking these people are the ones that reason you could be, you have the life you have.
You need them. That's your audience.
Absolutely. You lose them, you lose everything. And
I saw years ago a couple of celebrities would come into State Street and put me in a corner. I don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
And I said, "What are you, crazy or what?" And you know what I do? You know me, I was crazy back then. Not that I'm not now. I'd get on it and I'd make an announcement.
Announcement, they're there, yeah.
I went every time he came around. Hey, guess who's in the place? The champ. Boom, Mancini.
Hey.
What for? Why not?
No, I tell people, I see it all the time. As you did, right? You see it all the time. And I tell people, if you don't want to be seen and you don't want to be bothered, then don't go out. Sit your ass home, order in.
Well, I told Pacino, I said, why don't you become a monk? Your whole business is people.
That's it.
You want to talk people, he hides. I mean, get out of here.
If you
enjoy the ride.
If you're, see, it's a total analogy. If you are a public persona and you go out in public, they have a right to come up and meet you. They have a right to come to approach you, I should say. A right to approach you.
Yeah.
Or don't go out. It ain't rocket science. Figure it out.
No.
I understand, but I could see how to go from fans need to be respectful because I've seen people go do absolutely stupid things.
There's no dispute.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And most people are. If you stand up, you get up. I said, how hard is it to get up to take a picture? It takes 10 seconds. Or put your name on, write a nice little letter, autograph form. God bless, best wishes, sign your name. How hard is that? It takes 10. And they respect that and they leave. Now, if they're like a hover, that won't, that's different. But that's
I've
different.
seen both, yeah.
But most people will respect you. And then, and then you got people, if you go to places like Johnny's place, Johnny being a celebrity himself, he understood. So he'd have people like maitre d' watch out for you, and they'd come over and say, excuse me, we let them eat or whatever. You let people do it for you. You don't have to say it.
That's right.
No.
So you mentioned your bride. Now,
Yes, my bride.
I just saw, I stalked your Facebook a little, and on Instagram, I did a little recon, I wanted to know. So does it say you've been married 10 years?
Yes. We liked it so much, we did it twice. So it's our second go around. It's our second go around. But I noticed that she was 15. I met her when she was 15. True story. I met her when she was 15. Her cousin was my best friend. And John, he used to come with me to State Street. Her cousin Tony, but you might not remember, but he was with me all the time. I met her when she was 15, and I was 20, and she had a little schoolgirl crush. You could see that. And I used to tell her mother, when she's 18, I'm going to take her out. So when she was 18, I took her out. We went on a couple dates, but I was getting ready to go to California. And I don't want to start something I couldn't finish. I don't want to start on. I had too much respect for her and the family. And I left. So later, a couple years later, she got an old high school boyfriend, whatever. She got married, and I got married a couple years later. And make long story short, I was separated. She was separated, and she's a physical therapist, so she took over a friend of mine. And he said to me, Raymond, now John, you'll appreciate that. He said, Raymond, hey, I said, I'm moving on to a new job. Guess who took my job? I said, he said, Tina Rossi. I said, oh, no kidding. He goes, how's she doing? Well, yeah, she asked about you. She asked how you were doing. And I told her you're doing good. She goes, I hear Ray's going through a divorce. She goes, yeah, of course. She goes, well, so am I. And he's, oh. So I said, she was trolling, and I bit. So here we are. So he said, she goes, have him call me. He said, well, give me a number. I said, yeah, I've got it. So I said, she was trolling, and I bit. But so I called her, and, just here we are. And then, but I didn't see her. That was January. I didn't see her until like April. Just, and then I came back home. I come back and got together. And okay, so let's take a ride. See where it goes. See where it goes.
Awesome.
I said, anytime you want to jump off, you can jump off. I get it. She says to me, I've been on this ride for 40. Well, we've been together for 16 years. She goes, what's it gonna stop? What's it gonna stop?
Well, you're a couple.
She's a great lady. She's a great girl. She's a great lady. She had 3 children from her first. I have 3 kids from mine. We're, like the Brady Bunch, and but she's a wonderful woman and Italian American and wonderful cook and she keeps me on the straight and narrow. She's a great lady. She's a great lady.
No, you need it when we're our age. You have to have
Yeah, no,
somebody around you.
and you know, I mean, the foolish stuff. Not the foolish. Things you might have said or did or things you would have when you were younger. You would never think that stuff now. And I mean, I was good. I'd like to believe I was a good husband the first time, but people just disconnect for whatever reason, right? I mean,
Right.
you don't see the cracks in the wall until they become like spread. You go, oh shit, and then it's a little too late. But it teaches you, and so it's funny because a friend of mine said to me, Raymond, you think you're a better husband now? I said, better husband? I'm a better man. Of course, I'm a better husband. I'm a better man. And I told my bride. No, I told and a friend of mine. I told my bride the same thing not long ago. That I said I feel like I'm the best version of myself now that I've ever been
That's
as a husband,
fantastic.
as a father, as a man, as a friend. Just
Yeah, like you say, it's maturing in life as you go along. If you
and
don't mature, then you're an idiot.
one
Right.
day, like I
And you
said,
never. I mean, I would have to say, even myself at my age now, I never felt better, and things are great. I treat people right, and that's all I want back. It's
Right.
it's a simple formula. It's not rocket science.
no, it ain't rocket science. It's just you want to do good, be good to others. It's the Bible says treat others as you want to treat yourself as you want to be treated. Love others as you love yourself. Right? It's a
Right.
good book. It's a good book. It's a master plan for life. It ain't rocket science, as you said. It's just pretty basic. Be good to others, they'll be good to you. They say, oh, people talk about karma. I say, yeah, the Bible talks about karma is, do unto others you want done to you. So if you're gonna be a rat bastard to somebody, well, guess what? Somewhere along the way, some people, it even may not happen in 10 minutes, but somewhere down the road, you go, oh, that kicked my ass. I guess I had that coming from
I had
40
it
years
coming.
ago,
That's
20
right.
years ago, whatever it is, right?
Oh my gosh, I love you saying rat bastards because my son, I was a single mom. I had two kids in high school and two kids in elementary school. And
Oh.
these kids would come over and I nicknamed them the RBs because I would say, you little rat bastards all the time. And my son called me and he said, I'm talking to somebody. And I said, I think I remember the name. And I said, did I ever call you a rat bastard? And he was like, yes, that was me. And I go, that was a lot of you.
I can't even picture you
RB.
saying that.
Well, you know what? I told my son's friend one day, he came by and I was like, I think you're the only one of Cody's friends I've never punched. And he was like, what? And I go, well, I had these grown kids and I just had to make them believe I could whoop their butts. Otherwise, they would give me grief. And my son said to me, Mom, you don't really think you could kick my butt, do you? Because I never had to prove it, right? And I said, of course I could. And his friends are there. I was like, I could kick his ass all day, guys. I don't know what he's telling you, but I could do it. And so he said, Mom, you're not tough enough. And I said, but I am meaner than you. And he's like, oh, well, you got that. As long as they were scared.
I mean, one thing my bride will throw down, man. My bride, she hold her own, and yeah, she's something, man. And she'll put me on my place. If I'm on the line, and once in a while you think you're being funny, you think you're cute, and she'll straighten me out. I said, that's not funny, man. That's not funny. Why do you say stuff like that? I go, you know what? I apologize. I was out of line. You try to think you're funny at times. You think by making a mark, and then you realize when you come to that mouth, you go, man, that probably wasn't good to say that. But she's the gauge for me. She's the gauge for
She's
me.
your compass. I love it.
Yeah, she's a good.
All right, we need to take another quick break, and I have a couple notes that we got to get in. So let's do a commercial and a couple more things to highlight hot spots we got to hit. Okay.
You got it.
You got to make some money. We'll be right back.
Yeah, that would probably help.
Corleone Vodka on March 9th was picked as the best vodka for martinis in the world by the Robb Report. By calling 518-713-4050 or 518-220-9463, it could be shipped directly to your house.
the finest vodka in the world by Rob Report. All right, we're back. We have a few minutes left. We got a couple of things we have to get in, like Jeannie wants some things in.
That's
And
right.
Ray,
I did
and
my
Ray
homework.
and I have to tell you about something we're doing for his charity on October 17th
Right.
in Warren, Ohio.
Warren, Ohio. It's the next town over from Youngstown.
We'll be right back.
I really wanted to do it in Youngstown, and they couldn't accommodate me during that time.
I'm
But
actually ready to
it's a great city. Warren's a great town. Warren, to me, Youngstown, Warren, it's all home because here's a fact: I fought more fights on the way up in Warren, Ohio, than I did in Youngstown. So I did. I fought more fights there in Youngstown. So it's all home,
Right.
just a little farther.
Jeannie, what's the question you want to ask?
All right. Well, I'm looking. Gianni's got vodka. I see you have Boom Boom Bourbon.
Double gold. We just won our second double gold at the World Spirit Competition in San Francisco every February, March. We just won it, set 2 for 2. We won it in 2021, and we just won it again.
Where's it made?
In Cleveland. Cleveland Whiskey is my distiller. And Johnny, you go, well, first of all, this is how dumb I was. When they said Boom Boom Bourbon, I said, well, if we don't make it in Kentucky, can you still call it bourbon? They go, that's it all. Yes, of course. They've been selling that horse crap for years. They've been telling people, of course you can. But the guy, Cleveland Whiskey, downtown Cleveland. How about this? Tom Licks, him and his son Andrew. Tom Licks was an engineer. He patented a pressurized system where you could, instead of 3 years or 3, you could do it in 3 weeks.
Oh wow!
Or 3 weeks, or instead of 3 years, 3 months. You age. I should say 3 weeks. 3 months instead of 3 years, 3 months. 6 years, 6 months. It's an aging process. It accelerates the process, the aging process, and they age it in old maple barrel syrup barrels.
Right.
Maple syrup, so it gets a hit of the maple syrup. I mean, it's it's just the taste of it because it's in cedar, and I'm very proud of it. And I picked it. It was the recipe I picked because I had to go up there, John. Like anything I put my name. I have a wine company. I've had it since 2009. But I was up in Napa and I picked the grapes and I made it's my recipe. It's a blend, but I picked the blend, right? So when we went to Cleveland Distillery to do a taste, after 1 or 2, 3 bourbons, they all start tasting the same. And I'm getting umbriago. You know what I'm sitting there going, oh man, I don't know me. So finally I'm just sitting there going, okay, one's like the other. And I look, and underneath the desk, I see it says maple barrel bourbon. I said, what about that one? And the father and son look, they go, well, we kind of just make that for ourselves. I said, well, would that be a problem? They go, no, I guess not. I tried it. I said, that's the one. 2 is because it was delicious. But 2, you gotta have a hook. Maple barrel bourbon. That was right. But it went on, won a double gold 2021. And let me go back. 2000, because we started coming 2016. 2017, it won a bronze medal. But that was 84 proof. Then we did a cask strength, which is barrel to bottle, right? No watered down, which is a $1.16 proof. And that's the Boom Boom Reserve has won 2 double gold in 2021 and in this year. So
that's great.
Now, but here's the problem: we're only in Northeast Ohio. I'm trying to get us, I want to say national, but other states. So I'm dealing now with. We were in the middle of doing legalities with Southern Wine and Spirit in Nevada when COVID hit. And then after COVID, I said, okay, let's rev it back up. They go, no, man, we can't sell what we got. I go, I don't care. You ain't got double gold. I don't care. We were no, man, you gave your word. No. So they kind of backed off. So I've been trying to go do every end run I could do. Finally, they got a new general manager at Cleveland at Southern Wine and Spirit, Nevada. And I called him.
Who's that? Larry Ruvo left, right? Larry Ruvo left.
No, Larry. I know Larry. No, Larry was he'd been retired for a while, John. He's been retired. So, Johnny,
I got him the job.
Oh, there you go. But Larry,
I got him the job when he was a waiter at his father's restaurant, Louis
Lou
Rubo.
Rubo, right? Lou.
And
Was the Lou Rubo Steve Wynn partners? Didn't they start?
Yeah.
Weren't those the guys who started it?
yeah, but the bottom line is that I was with Southern Wines from the beginning in Florida. Jay Weiss and Mary Beth. I mean, I could have been whatever I want. I still talk to, well, I talk to a lot of the guys who are all retired. Who's 92, who's, you know. But Southern Wine, and the company he's talking about, Jeannie,
Yeah.
last year did $8 billion. It's a privately held company.
Yeah.
$8 billion.
Yeah, but this is the
Unreal.
thing, Johnny. But did you notice?
Easy.
But they each have their separate franchise. Each state is like a separate entity.
I
So
know.
yeah. So now, I'm
Why
trying
are we
to.
talking about them? We got to talk about our event.
But I'm gonna do it. But we're gonna do that.
Wines don't
But
need
we're
the
gonna
money.
get it. What I'm saying is, we're gonna get in Nevada, and we're gonna get it. We're looking to get in AC and New York City. So we're gonna start expanding. Is my point. That's what I was getting.
All right, one last question. So I have a great looking bottle of Corleone vodka. Where can I get a Boom Boom bottle?
Well, I'll get one sent to you. I'm gonna get your address and everything after they're done. I'll have one sent to you because we want you to make sure you like it. But right now, Cleveland Whiskey, the website, it's called clevelandwhiskey.com. Or there's a couple beverage company like Bev. It's either Bevmo or Bev Max. I think it's Bevmo that we're on. One of them is Bevmo or Bev Max.
Right.
There's two come, but Bevmo I think we're on. But
All right,
Cleveland Whiskey,
we'll get the links. We'll get the
yes,
links
yeah,
when
yeah,
the
right,
show
I
comes
don't know.
out.
But yeah,
And then can I just be real quick about this?
yes.
You're a mental health advocate. And I just want to say, my day job is I work for the Veterans Administration.
Well,
And
I've been on the board of National Veterans Foundation for 30-something years now, so I'm married what you do. Thank you.
well, we thank you as well. Thank you so much. All right, let's talk about what you guys have coming up while we've got a few minutes left.
Well, for my foundation, Ray Boone Mancini Foundation, I started in 2017, not long after I came back home, because, I'm sorry, 2015, I'm sorry, because I was doing a lot for people out in other places in LA and stuff. And I said, you know, when I came home, I said, I want to do it for people here. So we started my foundation. Basically, I want to help those who can't help themselves, basically. They go, well, yeah, but it's got to be more focused, more centralized. So now we focus on three groups: the elderly, the children, and first responders and vets. So that's four, I guess. First responders and vets. So we're doing an event, Johnny. Your event you're going to do actually is going to be for first responders. But that's going to help the first responder money we make from that night. But then in November, I'm doing a fight night for veterans. Fight night for veterans. And we're doing that at the MGM in Northfield, up in Cleveland.
Oh wow,
So
that's great.
We're starting to expand. It's a small. But one thing I'm proud of, we go directly to the people. We're not a big. We have three people, me, my wife, and another woman helping us, and there's no overhead cost. There's no
100% goes to the
everything goes to the people. But we do small events. We did a bowling event. And nobody does bowling events anymore. We did a bowling event, and Youngstown's big on bowling. So it's the Ellen Mancini Memorial Bowl. My mom was a wonderful bowler for years, state champion in 1973. So we do that, and we deal with the Akron Children's Hospital. They pick out recipients for the kids. We got for a young man who has leukemia, a 14-year-old boy. We got his family, car. We pay for the car, pay insurance. We got him a new apartment, furnished it the whole bit. And now this one will be for in April. Will be for their first responders. We're probably going to pick an individual who's in need right now for the first responder, and then we're going to do in November. We're going to do a fight night for veterans, and that will go to specifically to veterans groups, but goes directly to the vets and not to overhead costs. So
perfect.
yeah,
that's great.
Well, thank you, my friend, for being
Yes.
on.
that's
Thank you.
Jeannie, you have something in closing you want to say?
No, I was just going to say, Johnny, maybe tell us again when the event is that you're going to be. Was that October?
October 17th at the Robbins Theater in Warren, Ohio. People can go on. We haven't
Thursday night.
Thursday night, because you can't compete around here with high school football, and nor do we
Oh.
want to, and then or college football, and so and things during a weekday always do well. So Thursday night, it's the start of the weekend. We'll kick it off with Johnny, and it's again. I'm so excited. People have already been asking when's going on sale because they heard the show, Johnny, and already the station's already getting calls. When's the tickets going on sale?
I'll help you and I'll make a lot of money.
Yeah, we're gonna.
That's
I
right.
I do a gift that people want, and we'll do it at your event. I
Beautiful.
invite 6 people to come to my house, 5-course dinner, go through all my memorabilia. And
Beautiful.
I wrote last 2 weeks ago, I raised $30,000.
Beautiful. How about that?
Is it an auction, Gianni, or how do they get?
No, I do the live auction, and when I get 4 or 5 guys bidding, I sell 4 or 5 dinners like that. They were 6,000 a piece. They were up to, so I sold 5 of them.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's 100% to you. That's great.
Yeah, that's
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
Yeah, it's.
Well, always a pleasure, my friend. Seeing you.
John, I appreciate it. You know what? I've been talking so much. We got to do it again. We got to do this again because talk about so many other things we could talk about.
All right.
Well,
please.
you're the guest, so we want you to speak. We appreciate it. My nephew's gonna be so jealous. He's a boxer.
Thank you.
I can't wait for him to see. He's gonna.
Thank you.
They used to call him the Grim Reaper when he started. Cause he's crazy.
Right.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
John. John, good night. Thank you.
Jeannie. God bless you all. Keep the cards and letters coming and sign our petitions, and we love you
That's
all.
right. All right. Hey, Jose, we're still thinking of you, hoping you're doing
That's
well.
right, Jose. Stay healthy.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much, Ray. Have a great night.
Thank you too.
Buddy, thank you.
And that was that. But I'll be back.
No regrets, no complaints. Lived a life with no restraints. The little kid they all counted out, proved them all wrong, that's without a doubt. Laying there with my left side numb, 5-year bout with polio, but yes, I won. From standing on corners like how many pens you want to living in a bakery, then opening my own restaurant. Of course, I had some help along the way, friends like Frank Costello that I miss each and every day. Things from many years ago still resonate.